What if reality is not as solid as it seems? What if the world you wake up to each day, your life, your choices, even your sense of self, is not fixed but fluid? Modern science reveals a truth more mysterious than fiction. At the deepest level, existence is not set in stone. The atoms that make up your body, the air you breathe, and the thoughts that drift through your mind all exist in a state of flux, vibrating with infinite potential. The ground beneath your feet may feel solid, but it is composed of 99.9999% empty space, a dance of energy and probability waiting to take form. Physicists have uncovered something astonishing. Particles do not exist in a definite state until they are observed. Until that moment, they exist as a cloud of possibilities, an infinite spectrum of outcomes. It is not matter that gives rise to consciousness, it is consciousness that gives rise to matter. But if this is true for the fundamental fabric of reality, what does it mean for you? Quantum jumping is not about teleportation. It is not about stepping into another universe. It is about shifting into a new version of yourself, one that already exists by aligning your consciousness with it. This idea is not new. Mystics have long whispered that reality is shaped by the dreamer. Now, quantum mechanics echoes this ancient wisdom. The world does not exist independently of you. It responds to your awareness, your focus, your expectation. This means that reality is not something you are merely moving through. It is something you are shaping, moment by moment. So if infinite versions of reality exist, the question is no longer whether you can change your life. The question is, which version of yourself are you choosing to observe into existence? For centuries, we believed the world was made of solid, unchanging matter, that objects existed independently of us, fixed and immovable. But quantum physics tells a different story. Beneath the surface of all things lies a vast ocean of energy, where solidity is an illusion and matter is anything but stable. Everything you see, touch, and experience is composed of subatomic particles. But here's the paradox. These particles do not have a definite position until they are observed. Instead, they exist as waves of probability, spread across space, existing in multiple potential states. Only when consciousness interacts with them do they choose a form. This was demonstrated in one of the most famous experiments in history, the double-slit experiment. When electrons were sent through two slits, they behaved like waves, creating an interference pattern, as if they passed through both slits at once. But the moment a measuring device was introduced, the moment they were observed, they behaved like solid particles, choosing a single path. The act of observation changed the outcome. If this is true at the fundamental level of reality, what does it mean for your life? Could it be that the world you experience is simply the one you have observed into being? This is the essence of quantum jumping, not a physical leap, but a shift in perception. Ancient teachings have long echoed this idea. Buddhist philosophy describes the world as a projection of the mind. The Hermetic principle of correspondence states, as within, so without. Now, modern physics aligns with these truths, showing that what we focus on, we collapse into reality. This means that your identity, your circumstances, your possibilities, none of them are fixed. They are fluid, waiting for you to define them. So the question is no longer whether reality is changeable. The question is, what reality are you choosing to see? Imagine reality as an ocean of possibilities, a quantum field where everything exists in potential until something causes it to take form. What determines which possibility becomes real? You do. One of the greatest mysteries in quantum physics is the observer effect, the discovery that the act of observation alters what is being observed. In other words, consciousness is not passive, it is an active force shaping reality. The double-slit experiment revealed this startling truth. When electrons are unobserved, they behave like waves, existing in all possible states at once. But the moment they are measured, the moment they are seen, they collapse into a single state. Reality does not unfold on its own. it responds to perception. If reality behaves this way at the smallest scale, what does it mean for the reality you experience? What if the way you perceive the world is not just influencing your experience of it, but determining it? Ancient wisdom has long suggested this. The Upanishads teach that reality is shaped by the mind. Taoist philosophy describes the world as a mirror, reflecting the energy we bring to it. Now, quantum science is confirming what mystics have always known. Your attention alters the outcome of events. So ask yourself, what happens when you fixate on fear, limitation, and doubt? What changes when you shift your focus to possibility, expansion, and transformation? This is where quantum jumping begins, not by forcing reality to change, but by choosing to observe a different possibility. Most people unconsciously collapse the same version of reality over and over, trapped in a cycle of familiar thoughts, emotions, and expectations. But when you change what you focus on, you change what becomes real. The observer and the observed are not separate. The universe is not happening to you, it is happening through you. So the real question is not whether you have the power to shift reality. The question is, what are you choosing to observe into existence? In the quantum world, nothing exists in a single fixed state. Instead, everything exists in a state of superposition, where multiple possibilities coexist until one is chosen. Imagine a particle that is not just here or there, but both here and there at the same time. It exists in every potential state simultaneously, waiting for an observer to collapse it into one reality. Now consider this. What if your life works the same way? What if, right now, infinite versions of you already exist? Each one a different expression of your potential. The confident you, the abundant you, the version of you who has already stepped into their purpose. Quantum jumping is not about creating a new version of yourself. It is about choosing which version you align with. At every moment, you exist in a field of infinite outcomes. The choices you make, the thoughts you hold, and the emotions you embody determine which version of yourself becomes real. But here's the challenge. Most people collapse the same version of reality over and over. They repeat old thought patterns, hold on to familiar emotions, and unconsciously reinforce the reality they wish to escape. The power of superposition lies in realizing that all possibilities already exist. You are not waiting for a better future. You are choosing which future to observe into being. This idea is not new. Hindu teachings describe reality as Maya, an illusion shaped by the mind. Buddhist philosophy teaches that the self is fluid, always shifting. Now, quantum mechanics echoes this wisdom. You are not one thing, you are all things, a spectrum of potential waiting to be defined. So the question is not who am I? The real question is, which version of myself am I choosing to step into? Who are you, really? Are you a fixed identity, bound by your past, your memories, your name? Or are you something far more fluid, something shifting and evolving with every moment of awareness? Quantum physics reveals that nothing is truly solid. Every atom that makes up your body is not a fixed object, but a wave of energy, vibrating, fluctuating, existing in multiple states at once. So if everything is energy, then what does that make you? Most people think of identity as something stable, a story they tell themselves, a collection of past experiences that define who they are. But at the quantum level, the self is not a thing, it is a field of possibilities. You are not just one reality, one expression. You are a spectrum of potential, shifting with every thought, every belief, every focus. Consider water. It can exist as liquid, vapor, or ice, yet it is still the same substance. Its form changes based on its environment. What if the self is the same? What if identity is not a label, but a frequency that shifts and adapts? This is why quantum jumping is not about becoming someone new. It is about aligning with the version of yourself that already exists. Ancient teachings have long described this truth. The Tao Te Ching teaches that the self is like flowing water, formless, adaptable, always in motion. The Buddhist concept of anatta tells us that there is no fixed self, only an ever-changing process of becoming. If this is true, then identity is not a prison, it is a choice. You are not locked into a single path, a single role, a single way of being. You are an energetic wave, fluid, expansive, limitless. So if your essence is a wave, ever-changing and shifting with awareness, then the real question is, which version of yourself will you allow to take form? If everything is energy, then reality is not built from solid matter. It is built from vibration and frequency. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, and every belief you hold carries a frequency. And that frequency determines what you experience. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Quantum physics reveals that particles synchronize with the energy around them. This is the principle of resonance, where like frequencies align and amplify each other. In the same way, your personal energy field is constantly interacting with the quantum field, drawing in experiences that match your state of being. This means that your reality is not random, it is a reflection of the frequency you hold. If you exist in the vibration of fear, you will align with situations that reinforce fear. If you exist in the vibration of abundance, you will align with experiences that reflect abundance. This is the essence of quantum jumping. To shift into a new reality, you must first match the vibration of the version of yourself that already exists in that reality. Ancient wisdom has long understood this. Hermetic teachings state, as within, so without. The Vedic texts describe the universe as a web of interconnected vibrations. Now, modern physics confirms what mystics have always known. Frequency is the key to transformation. But here's where most people go wrong. They try to force reality to change. But in the quantum world, you don't force, you align. You become the version of yourself that already exists in the timeline you seek. This is why quantum jumping is not about effort, it is about embodiment. You don't have to chase a new reality, you have to tune into it. And when you do, reality has no choice but to reflect it back to you. So the question is, what frequency are you holding? We move through life believing in time, past, present, and future unfolding in a straight line. But what if time is not what it seems? Quantum physics suggests that time is not linear, but a field of possibilities existing all at once. The past is not behind you, the future is not ahead of you. Both exist simultaneously, accessible through awareness. This is why quantum entanglement defies time itself. Two particles, separated by vast distances, react to each other's changes instantly. This should be impossible, unless time is an illusion. But if time is not what we think it is, then what does this mean for your reality? It means that your future self, the version of you that has already quantum jumped, is not separate from you. It is simply existing at a different point in the quantum field. The path to that reality is not about waiting, it is about aligning with it now. Ancient wisdom has always hinted at this truth. Hindu philosophy describes reality as Maya, an illusion where time is a construct of perception. The Tibetan Book of the Dead speaks of past and future lives existing in the present. Now, modern science echoes this wisdom. You are not bound by your past, nor do you have to wait for the future. This means that quantum jumping is not about moving through time. It is about shifting your awareness. When you let go of the belief that change must take time, transformation becomes instantaneous. The only thing separating you from your desired reality is the perception that it is separate. But in the quantum field, all versions of you already exist. You are not waiting for a future, you are selecting a reality. This is why deep change happens the moment you believe it has. Because time is not a barrier, it is only a state of mind. You are not just a participant in reality, you are its observer, its architect, its creator. Quantum physics has shown us that observation determines reality. The act of perceiving a possibility collapses it into existence. This means that you are constantly selecting which version of reality unfolds before you. But the question is, are you choosing consciously, or are old patterns choosing for you? Most people believe change is difficult, that transformation takes time, that reality is something outside of them. But if the universe is quantum, then nothing is set in stone. It is only set by perception. Ancient traditions have long understood this. The Tao Te Ching teaches that reality is fluid, shaped by the energy we bring to it. The Hermetic principle of mentalism states, all is mind. Now, quantum science confirms what mystics have always known. Your reality is a reflection of your consciousness. So how do you quantum jump? Not by forcing reality to change, but by aligning your awareness with a new possibility. This is why surrender is essential. You don't force a quantum leap, you allow it. The moment you detach from the struggle, from the need to make something happen, you shift into a state of allowing, and the quantum field reflects that shift back to you. You are already everything you seek to be. You are already the version of yourself you wish to become. The only thing that needs to change is your perception of who you are. So what if, for a moment, you let go of the idea that reality is fixed? What if you allowed yourself to step into the possibility that change is instant? What if you realize that you are the quantum observer, the conscious selector of reality itself? Because in the end, the universe is not happening to you. It is happening through you, and you are the one deciding what comes next. Reality is not a destination. It is a mirror, reflecting the state of your consciousness back to you. Quantum physics has shattered the illusion of a fixed world, revealing that existence is fluid, unfolding in response to your perception. Particles do not take form until they are observed. Possibilities do not collapse into reality until consciousness interacts with them. If this is true at the smallest level of existence, then it is true for you. The self is not a singular entity, locked into one path, one identity, one destiny. You are a field of potential, shifting and evolving in every moment. The past does not define you. The future is not something you must chase. All versions of you already exist within the quantum field. The only question is, which one are you choosing to step into? Quantum jumping is not about escaping your current life. It is about seeing through the illusion of limitation. It is about realizing that transformation is not something you struggle to achieve. It is something you allow. This is why belief is the gateway. When you believe in the version of yourself that already exists, you collapse it into reality. When you let go of the struggle, when you align with the frequency of the reality you seek, you step into it effortlessly. The universe is not separate from you. It is not something happening to you. It is happening through you. So if all realities already exist, if you are already the version of yourself that you seek to become, then the only thing left to do is observe it into being. Because in the end, the quantum leap is not outside of you. You are the quantum leap.